hello.
Hey, you did it on time this time.
Hey, I didn't say hello. I said
That's
hey.
true. You said hey.
When I know what time it is, and I know I'm being serious, it's hey.
All right.
When I do hello, it's
it's just to drive me insane.
no, but
Excellent.
I'm trying not to drive you insane because then you leave, and then it's just me, and no one wants to hear the two things I've been doing all week.
Welcome to the post-credit show. We're talking about games we played, movies you've watched, and other sort of dirt junk we've done. I'm Nick.
I'm Chris.
And I've played stuff.
You sure have. Did you have a list?
No,
ready?
I don't have a list ready,
Okay,
but I'm
I will
good.
drag this out then.
I'm good. I don't need a list. It's all fresh.
You sure?
Yep. I have played Vampire with a Y.
That's it, isn't
Spelled it with a Y.
it? That's why.
They spelled it with a Y. It is a game that came out last year, the year before.
I remember when this game was first announced, you were excited.
Yeah, I was excited because I love vampire games because there's always that mystery dark piece to them that I like. And it's like Anne Rice. I like her vampire novels because it is. It's that whole...
You mean you don't like the Tom Cruise, Brad Pitt vampire based off the Anne Rice book?
No, that was not a stellar film. It wasn't a bad film.
I know.
It wasn't stellar, though. But... like the Vampire Masquerade games I've loved because they're fun. The original is like brutal to play now. I'm trying to think. I think it's Masquerade Redemption is like a first-person game.
Oh, okay.
It's actually pretty fun. And you're like in a city and you can turn people and change things and do that kind of stuff. Right now, this game takes place in England after World War I.
Okay.
You are a doctor that has come back from France.
A changed man.
No, he was not changed then. He got changed somewhere around the beginning of the game. He ends up killing his sister because he's in a bloodlust and he drinks her blood and she's dead. So his whole game is like, I'll find the person that did this to us. And I'm like, well, you did it to her, sir.
Well, but it's through...
Yes, because of something that happened to him from someone else. He's trying to discover it. He meets a doctor who's all like... Van Helsing-y with, like, you know, a cross that makes light happen and all of this other stuff and all of that jazz. And the doctor ends up hiring you.
Okay.
Because you are a famous doctor who is, like, one of the first people to use blood transfusions to help people.
Okay.
So, ironically, the guy who invented blood transfusions or made them popular is the guy who sucks blood. There are then key players within districts of the city.
Okay.
You can kill them all. Essentially, you, like, entice them to come with you and then drink their blood. I think there's a way to turn them. Go away. Someone else is home now.
But this is the popular...
This is the place where the magic happens. So, I'm not quite there yet, but, like, I met a drunkard on the street who's like, can you get me to the hospital, please? And the game pretty much is like, oh, if you, like... entice him over into a dark corner and drink his blood, like, he dead.
Yeah.
If you do that to districts will, like, break down into chaos. So you can't go around killing everybody. You could. If you do, you get rewards. Like, there's short-term gains to, like, killing certain people, from what I understand.
Okay.
But the game doesn't explicitly point.
You become an army, and you take over the city.
So either way, there's also, like, these weird undead creatures that are, like, half vampire, half zombie.
Okay.
So they're not in control of what they're doing. It's like a full-on bloodlust type thing.
Yeah.
So you're against those creatures. You're against, like, the Night Watch people who are out to, like, stop people from doing bad things. And they're like, oh, you're clearly a vampire.
Because they're a known commodity.
Everybody I work with at the hospital is completely oblivious to me. I walk by one guard and they're like, there's the bloodsucker. And I'm like, I'm going for a stroll? In the evening, good sir?
Yeah, exactly. Suspicious.
During a giant flu epidemic?
Suspicious.
Very suspicious. But instead of coming up to me and asking me if I'm a vampire, they just start shooting stuff at me. You can switch between two-handed weapons, one-handed weapon with an offhand.
You're a vampire.
Yeah.
Why do you need weapons?
Because you clearly can't punch things. So that during the tutorial phase of the game, you're running away from these guys that are chasing you. I run into a bunch of barrels. On a computer, usually left mouse button attack.
Yes.
The one you normally click with, index finger. Attack. I'm hitting the button and I'm just like staring at these barrels. So finally I start looking around. There's a dead guy next to me. Well, he's got a machete in him. I pick the machete up. It automatically equips it for me. Now when I press the button, I can swing machete.
You're a vampire.
Who can't punch people. That's...
Or kick.
No. Or jump.
Mm.
Jumping hard. I can mystically mist myself to very specific places that are not indicated in any way, shape, or form until you look at them, and then there's like a press the button to teleport.
That sounds bad.
So again, it's not like, oh, I know that ledge I can teleport to because it's got like a little outline to it. Something stupid. Like that indicator in a game that goes like, you can go here. None of that. It's legitimately you get to a new area and start like with the mouse or the controller like just to see if there's a thing that pops up.
Just in case.
Just in case, because there might be a hidden area.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, this is very much a... this game feels old and not in a fun way. So the controls are kind of stuck. They're slow. Movements very choppy and haphazardly. Because I plugged a controller in going like, maybe this will solve my... No. It did not. So... I don't know, the combat mechanics suck, the moving around sucks. I think the story could be interesting, but the rest of the game around it is weird. Because you're trying to help people at this hospital.
It sounds super enticing.
No, you're trying to help people at this hospital. Like, that's the enticing part, is you're, like, now a head doctor at this hospital. So you're trying to help all these people out, and they kind of have secrets and this kind of thing. Like, you're trying to understand this kind of jazz. Yeah. But... I don't want to.
I still say you should just turn the whole hospital
into vampires.
And
if I figure out how to do that, I will totally make them all
rogue.
vampires. Right now, if I entice them into a like dark corner, they're dead. If I find a way to turn people, by golly, that entire hospital is going to be run by vampires. Because at this point, I don't care.
We're a good hospital.
We're super good, but we only operate at night.
And we heal you of everything that you alien you.
Everything. We'll even give you long-lasting life.
Yes.
Yeah, a longer life than you came to expect.
That's the slogan.
So luckily I played that. I got the Microsoft Game Pass, so I played that using that dollar.
Yeah.
I played that one. I don't know if my Game Pass is still... I think I exited it. I did. I can bring up my... I tried Crackdown 3.
You're just playing super quality games here.
Well, and again, because that was my pieces, I'm like, it's $1. Like, how can I go wrong?
Well...
Crackdown 3 also junk. Who would have thought?
Yeah, I know, right?
So... It had me jumping through some weird hoops. The game looked like junk. Like, it was just...
It's weird that this was a super hyped up game.
Yeah. Well, because Crackdown, I know, was a big deal. Crackdown 2 was a pretty big deal.
Well, my brother, I know, liked to play it, at least the first one.
Right. And then 3 had Terry Crews.
Well, that's the thing, is he was majorly pushing this game.
Yep.
He must have been paid out the butt to be doing that.
And then it all just disappeared.
Like...
The parts I played, I did not enjoy.
I'd be curious to see if he still feels this way about this game.
Crackdown 3, I don't know. I played a bit of it. I was not overly intrigued by it. I didn't really know what was going on. The controls were too simple and yet too difficult all at the same time.
Would playing the other ones helped?
I don't know. Maybe?
Because you can destroy buildings, can't you?
Not so far.
I thought you couldn't.
You might be able to. Again, I
might be I don't know. I can't remember. I thought it was the first one.
And you might be able to, but this game was very much like, you got a gun, and I'm like, great. And again, I'm playing on a computer.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, aim and shoot. It's like, no, just face the bad guy. You've got this. And I'm like, okay.
It automatically fires?
Well, it did not automatically fire, but it automatically just aims at them if you're looking in the direction of something you can shoot.
Auto aim.
Very, very auto aim. I don't know. Now that I got the controller working, like that might be my next step is try it with controller. But at this point, I'm like, Sea of Thieves.
Yeah.
I tried.
Yeah.
I did not leave the first island
Because you quit?
Well, for one, I was waiting. Brian said he would play something, so like I was kind of just chilling until he showed up.
Did he buy it too?
No. He hasn't gotten this thing.
Oh.
We went to play something else or whatever it was.
Uh-huh.
So it was one of those nights where he's like, "Yeah, I'm playing something." I'm like, "Okay." So we were chatting.
Yeah.
Because he was finishing something up in Horizons. And I'm like, "That's cool. I'll play like Sea of Thieves while I'm waiting." So I got through like the basic, like, this is how you move around, and this is how you change your costume, and this is how you do this, and this is where you buy these things. And then I got a quest, and it's like, cool, now go to your ship. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, Brian, I'm just going to take off all my ship, and then I'm done. But it is a multiplayer game, and I clicked the button that said, like, oh, just form a crew for me, thinking that would just, like, form a crew for the ship. Not actually try and find people and suck them into my game. So all of a sudden I'm like going around the ship because you actually have to like unfurl the sails and like make sure they're at the right length.
Ship thing.
You actually pull up the anchors. Like you have to ship.
Yeah.
All of a sudden there was this other dude on the boat with me, and I had no idea who he was or what was going on. And I'm like, oh my god, and he's like doing things, and I'm like, no, I wish to know how to do this on my own. Like, he was ready to, like, take the ship out to sea and start doing things, and it's like, no!
Drop the anchor.
Yeah, so that's pretty much what I was about to do, and I'm like, you know what? Screw it. Brian's done. Like, I'll just go that way. So I exited the game on this guy. So if you figure out who I am and you're watching this, I'm sorry, but I just kind of ditched out on you. But it's a cool-looking game.
Yeah.
And again, for $1.
Why not?
Why not? So we'll see where that one goes. I have to play a bit more of that one. Then I downloaded some other ones, but I haven't played those ones yet. So those were the 3 that I kind of...
Well, they're probably the most...
There's Ark Survival on there. There's, like, Recore on there. There's Gears of War on there. The Gears of War 4 on there. Like, there's...
But those 3...
Those were the ones that I kind of...
Like I said, you were intrigued by Vampire a long time ago.
I was. There's just why I tried that one.
3, just why not?
Yep. Again, it's Crackdown.
Yeah. I think the better quality shooter would probably be Gears.
Oh, for sure. That's why I'm holding off on Gears, because I'm like, Gears I'm going to actually be intrigued by to play.
Yeah.
Same with Sea of Thieves. I actually want to play Sea of Thieves.
Yeah, Sea of Thieves was mixed.
Sea of Thieves was, yes.
It was very mixed reviews.
Cool game, not a lot to do, but they're slowly adding things to do.
Yeah.
So.
And the Kraken.
Yeah.
Watch out for that.
Yeah. So, well, if I can ever get my boat out of...
Well, you could. You just have to follow that guy. Let him do the stuff.
I don't want to let him do this stuff on my boat.
It's not your boat.
It was my boat. My boat. He joined my game. My boat.
Could have been his boat.
Oh my god.
Mutiny.
You can dig in that.
Killed him.
You can dig in that game. There was a telescope. Like there's all these little tools. It was very cool. Like they very much just been like, you're a pirate. You can upgrade all of your stuff, but for like the most part, it's like, here is a telescope, and you're like, thank you. Here's a shovel. Cool, I can dig. Like,
we gotta find treasure.
They give you a bucket legitimately so you can bail out water. That one I'm intrigued by. Vampire I really just wanted to try out, and I'm like, this is junk, cool. So when Vampire the Masquerade 2 comes out, like I'm stoked for that one. But this one was like, woof, bad. Bad game. I've played it the most, though, out of all of the games I've downloaded, just because I'm like, maybe it gets better.
It does.
No. It's one of those games where you kind of hope beyond hope that it will get better. The character actually looks like the guy from Deus Ex. They gave him the same black beard and kind of the same haircut.
There's
and then
only
they give
so
him,
many styles you can go with.
Well, but then they give him the big long trench coat. Like the whole... it from the back, it looks like I'm playing Deus Ex until it's like 1919 London. And you're like, oh, okay, cool. I have played Crypt of the Necrodancer because I got it cheap on my Switch.
You're dancing to it.
So you're hopping along and
get a dance pad out and just.
I don't have a dance pad because I did not DDR back in the day.
You should buy one now.
No. Cool game. I've only beaten the first level,
Yeah.
zone 1.
Yeah.
And then I figured out like, oh, you get diamonds and you can buy things, and I'm like, okay, because I was buying weapon-y type stuff that drops on the map. I didn't realize that the middle section, I didn't explore the like open section that it's like, oh, you can buy extra heart containers and this and that and everything,
Yeah.
like permanent upgrades.
Yeah.
I didn't realize you could buy. So that helped once I figured that room out. Cool game.
Yeah.
And I got that in conjunction with getting Cadence of Hyrule. So I was like, well, I'll try out the Crypt of the Necrodancer game to see if I actually like the rhythm-based thing.
So is this more of a Tony game then?
I don't know. I got into it. This is the first rhythm game I've gotten into, I think just because it's more puzzles just set to boom, 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 boom. Like I can count, I can count music.
1, 2,
3, 4. Yeah, it's
one.
either 1, 2, 1, 2, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Like I can count music, so just planning all.
And the music is pretty loud, so you can.
Yeah, you get into, and the beats are like they make sure you've got those beats down.
Yeah.
And the music's pretty good. So and then the bad guys you just have to watch, and it's like, oh, this one does this, oh, this one does that. Oh, like they all have their little quirk.
Yeah.
So it's a puzzle game with a combat game with a dungeon crawler game. Cool.
Yeah.
I'm down with that one. Cadence of Hyrule did a good job of mixing them. So if all the bad guys are dead, you can just hop along the map like a regular person. There's no beats anymore. The beats only appear when there's bad guys to kill, which helps a little bit. You're collecting different swords and shields and the bombs and the bows and arrows and all of that stuff like a Zelda game.
Yeah.
I've yet to find an actual dungeon. So I haven't been able to do any of those things yet. I've kind of just been going through the overworld collecting junk, so that I can like once I hit a dungeon, I am
You're ready?
so ready. Yeah, cool game, and then the Zelda music on top of the big beats, so it's like remixed Zelda music.
You don't have to follow the Zelda music.
So it's yeah, you're not like dun 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 dun. No, it's
You
they
just follow the Go really fast.
Oh, slow. Fast. Fast. They've remixed that song into the Crypt of the Necrodancer kind of stuff, so it's still like you've got that beat, but then in the background of that beat, you're getting the like bam 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 ba da da, and they've remixed it in. And it's like I want that as an album. Can someone drop that, please? Like I haven't looked yet, but I would really enjoy the Cadence of Hyrule album. Cool game. You can play as Zelda or Link. I haven't played as Zelda yet. I hopped right in as Link. The bad guy in this one put everybody to sleep with his songs because he uses music as his big bad thing. So Kakariko Village is in there. So if you've played again the Super Nintendo version of Zelda, it's kind of that world.
Yeah.
But every time you start a new game, it changes where everything is. So it's a new, fresh experience every time you play.
Yeah.
So, a very interesting game in terms of that, which is cool. I've been playing more Stardew Valley. I'm getting my rhythm going in that game as well, where it's just like, okay, this is my thing too. Yeah, ha, ha, ha. It's actually very hard to get out of that, like, like even once all the bad guys are...
It's super easy to do, like get into it.
It's very easy to get into.
Because even when you're walking...
Yep.
In real life, you're getting it. You're walking to the rhythm.
Yeah, you have a rhythm, and that's why, like, when I run, I have very specific music that goes by a beat per minute type of thing, because I want my footfalls to be, in time with the
moments,
in time with those beats. So I have very specific music picked out for my runs when I used to really do running.
Yeah.
It would be like a lot of beats per minute as I started, and then it would cool down, and then my halfway mark it would like be the slowest to give me a little bit of a break.
Yeah.
And then it would ramp up again, so I'd start fast and end fast and slow down halfway and kick it in at the end again. But this game does, it's like you're into the beats, and then the beats kind of settle when all the bad guys are dead.
Yeah.
And that's kind of your signal of like you can just solve the puzzle of this map piece. Yeah. Like if you have to push some blocks around or do some stuff, and I'm still like, Link's still like hopping everywhere, and I'm like, oh, and then it takes me 30 seconds to, and I'm going, this puzzle's hard to solve jumping around to the, oh right, I don't have to jump to the beat anymore. Like I'm about to complain about it, and I'm like, it's my own stupidity that has led me here.
Habits.
It is, but you just get into the and same thing, the bad guys all have their own separate way of moving and doing things, but they are now Zelda bad guys.
Yeah.
You run into Cadence every once in a while.
Alright.
From the original Crypt of the Necrodancer game. Like, she'll be like, I found this cave. And she's like, and I found this loot. Do you want it? So when you go to Sheikah Stones in the Zelda game, it saves that portion of the map, so you can, when you die, you can go back to any of those places. With the loot, you can teleport there magically.
Alright.
So, cool.
Yeah.
Like, it's kind of nifty. It's like, oh, I need to go get rupees to buy this thing from the store. Go and kill a bunch of people, loot your way back, like, get back to the store, go buy the things, and then head back out again.
Yeah.
So, it's a cool game. I think it's $30.
For 2 games.
Well, for 2 games, it's 30. It's $35 if you buy both of them.
Okay.
Cool game. I got the Secret of Mana collection. I started playing right into Secret of Mana 3 because none of those games are actually really connected. Like, it's not like 3 goes, remember when that guy in the other game did this? This was just one of, it's like Final Fantasy back in the day where they're like, it's the same control mechanism, set in the same kind of world-esque type thing.
Yeah.
You're dealing with mana. Go. The cool thing about Secret of Mana is you select 3 different characters.
Okay.
The first hero you select, you're going to get their intro sequence into completion. So, like, if you pick, I think his name is Durin. He's a knight. You see him training as a knight. He, wins this big tournament at the beginning. Then a wizard attacks the castle, and he can't stop the wizard because he's not powerful enough. So he goes to the king, and he goes, I screwed up, but I've heard there's this great kind of wizardy type person who can help me in this place I need to get to. And the king's like, you go do that. And essentially, legitimately, they just work it in going, there's a way I can change my class by going to visit this guy. Can I do it? And the king's like, solid.
If it helps protect me, yes.
Yeah, like, you head out. We're good. And then you meet certain characters as you go. Yeah. So you'll meet all of the 6 characters that you could choose from, but only 2 of them will actually follow you.
Okay.
Throughout the story. The other 2 you chose, and you'll get a bit more of their
switch them in and out?
Background. No, so the 3 you picked are the 3 you play as for that story.
Okay.
You can switch between them once you've gotten them into your party.
Yeah.
But if you want to see how they actually got there and play through their story, you have to start with them.
Okay.
And go through their story. So it gives some replayability, even though the game will be the same the whole way through. Each character obviously plays differently too. Some of them are wizards, some of them are thieves, some of them are just warriors.
Yeah.
Mix and match play that way. So, interesting game in that sense.
See, write it down.
No, I'm good. I'm good. That's it. I've watched nothing. I've watched Game Grumps. But, oh, and I watched a basketball game for the first time in a long time.
Yeah.
Go
Canada.
I watched basketball. Mr. Naismith with his peach baskets. What do you mean? We invented the game.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
I know people are upset that Canada has taken away America's game. And I'm like, squeeze me.
We invented it.
This was our peach baskets that we cut holes in the bottom of to stick a broom through.
So what? Was it that or?
Yeah.
To let it fall through?
Nope. I watched the Canadian Heritage Minute again the other night.
I'm trying to think of it. I think he cut out the bottom of it.
He cut out the bottom so he could take. I can't
remember if the ball still fell through.
No, it didn't. He takes a broom handle and pops the ball back out, and you're just like, because at first it's like, it's an okay game, Mr. Naismith, but like, it sure slows it down because I have to go up this ladder to get the ball out every time.
Yeah.
And the other guy's like, cut a hole in the bottom of the basket, problem solved. What I really like, I need these baskets back. And then the next thing you see is like Naismith cutting a hole in the bottom of the peach basket. But it's just big enough to poke a broom through so that like someone stands underneath each hoop going, or each basket and popping them up. Then all of a sudden they clearly got the idea to cut the hole bigger so the ball falls through.
And change it to rope.
And then put some netting in there so you're not
Netting.
bashing your head against a... The game was very different back then anyway. Like, they're,
Yeah, they weren't slam dunking it.
Yeah. No, yeah, no. Their throws were legitimately like a soccer throw into a peach basket. But either way, Raptors won. That was pretty cool. And that was an intense third and fourth quarter because I only watched half the game. But
The long 0.9 seconds.
good golly, that's... And I knew that going into that because I've played basketball video games because I enjoy playing basketball.
Yeah.
Watching it is just... It's a lot of back and forth a lot of times, which is I'm just like, oh, okay. Because you don't have time. You get set up, and once you're...
and then...
Yeah. And that's the piece, is you get set up, and you only have so much time to shoot.
Yeah.
Then they shoot because they run out of time, they miss, the ball goes back the other way, or they get it in and they get 2 or 3 points.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay. Like hockey, you can set up in a guy's zone for 10 hours if you keep, keep the puck moving. Football is that cool kind of defense, offense, push back, this kind of thing, which I like. Basketball, I find, is very much just...
Back and forth.
Yeah. And I'm like, I can come in the last 10 seconds and, kind of get the same effect because they'll be going back and forth for 10 minutes. Because at the end of the game, it's all timeouts and making, making purposeful fouls just to make sure you get those... those pieces, and that's exactly what happens. Is there's 0.9 bloody seconds left, then they take a stupid foul with the extra timeout, which is just miscounting. And
no, I don't think that was a miscount. I think it was on purpose,
and it could have been because it led to him fouling a dude, which led to, if he would have missed that foul shot and they would have sunk it, all of a sudden the game would have gone the other direction. But yeah, it was the longest 0.9 seconds of my life.
Yep.
I hate sports for that reason alone. Is like, oh, there's only 10 seconds left in this game.
Well, I said this to someone at work watching that. It felt very anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Like, it's just not just the whole celebrating and that it doesn't. Maybe it's just hockey.
And that's part of it. Is hockey, that countdown's
so
coming,
intense.
and
Well, it's intense. Like maybe it's the 20 players that come out and.
Yeah.
But
that's what I was expecting, and I'm watching it, and the ball goes up, and it goes in.
Yeah.
So that's it. They're way ahead now. There's no coming back from this, and you can see everybody ready to.
Yeah.
And then the ref's like, and you're going, dude.
And just the celebrations, how they do it when they even... I know it's been mentioned a few times on the sports channels.
Yeah.
And on Twitter. And that, where when they do the cup presentations...
Yeah. He can't make it.
Well, we're almost done.
Yeah.
This didn't take long today. Where the sports, you get the presentation of the cup.
Yes.
And in hockey, it's you hand it off to the players.
Yes.
The players celebrate.
Yes.
I believe football is the same way.
From what I've seen, yes.
I don't know about baseball.
Do they give things out in baseball? I don't really.
Yes, I do.
Good for them.
But basketball, what they do is they have everybody up on the stage, and they give it to the owner first. And the GM.
Yeah, it's weird.
And then they give it to the players.
So not the guys that,
Played the sports.
Did the sporting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the GM hands it off to the players.
That's a weird one.
Yeah. So I know all it felt kind of anticlimactic. It's good for Canada because they're expecting this to really boost the popularity of the sport.
Only there was a second team on the west side of Canada.
Well, that's the problem, though, is that it took 24 years for
I know.
a Canadian team to finally win.
Yeah.
And
by now the Grizzlies are in Memphis now?
Yes.
See, I know things.
Something.
I sport. I sport.
But, I mean, it wouldn't expand past that.
No. If Canada got a second team again, yeah, I can see Vancouver getting a team again, and
That's it.
that being
Maybe
bad.
Montreal.
Maybe.
But that would be...
Like, our city, as big as we are on sports, we're not a basketball town.
No.
And we are. Like, we're big. We support our teams pretty hard with the Eskimos.
Well, they do.
The Oilers.
And there's been mention on radios and everywhere where it's because of this run.
Yeah.
You're seeing more kids on the courts.
Oh, yeah.
Right now.
We are. I'm noticing it.
It's so, I mean...
We normally have 30 kids that play soccer.
But we're still not a big enough city to
No,
do
we're
that.
not. We have 30 kids playing soccer. Usually we are down to 10. And the other 20 are, like...
Our school's about the same.
Playing
Well, not the same that way. It's from what I've noticed, it's stayed the same.
We had no kids playing basketball before, and now all of a sudden we have kids playing basketball, and I'm like, okay, fine. Can't jump into a basketball game like I do a soccer game, but
Yeah, it's a cheap sport, though.
super cheap.
A ball and shoes.
Ball and some shoes.
You're good.
Yep. And you can play in whatever
Not
shoes
hockey.
you damn well want to. Oh, God, hockey is expensive. Soccer gets pricey after a while.
A little bit. Still, the equipment is not
Yeah.
that bad.
Not as bad, but that's why, like basketball, it's a great sport for anybody to get into, because, yeah, if someone's got a ball,
Yeah.
you can play basketball.
Any ball.
Yeah, like legitimately, you can start playing basketball with pretty much any ball as long as the thing bounces.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. Good stuff, huh?
But yes, that we should put sports up there.
Yeah. I don't know where that thing is. I forgot other games too. So I brought I got a list.
I
now.
told you.
I didn't play all of these. Just 2 more that I missed talking about.
Go ahead.
All right.
I haven't started, so.
All right, fine. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite
Yeah.
fighting game.
Yeah.
I played part of it, the story mode, all of that jazz. It's kind of dumb. The story's fun, but it started off as a comic crossover, so you had to read the comic.
Yeah.
So, if you didn't read the comic, it starts off with you fighting Ultron Sigma, which is Sigma and Ultron. So Sigma from the Mega Man franchise, and Ultron from the Marvel franchise. They have become one being, and their worlds have crossed over. So
Sounds like Mortal Kombat versus DC.
sort of, but this one not as good as execution. Some of the stuff is cute. Like the writers clearly had some cool stuff going on.
Yeah.
So like AIM is in the game. Umbrella's in the game. But because the worlds have mooshed, it's now Aimbrella. But like Frank West is one of the fighters, and he's following Spider-Man around taking pictures of Spider-Man. And he meets up with Chris Redfield, and then they have to stop these things from happening. And I think the biggest problem with the game is they just send Ultron bots at you that are all super easy. So as a fighting game, it's not a hard game until all of a sudden it's like, oh, remember that whole mechanic where you can switch off who you're fighting as? And it's like, yeah, you can't do that anymore. So you're stuck as Ryu, and you have to fight the Hulk, who we've given extra health to because he's the Hulk. And now it's like a boss fight.
It is a boss fight.
And it's like, okay. Same thing with the level I quit on was they put 2 of us against Nemesis.
Yeah.
And then they jacked up his health, and he can summon in like these weird zombie symbiote things when he wants to. And it's like, like, no. Not a cool game, not digging it, not loving it. Even, like, they have Rocket Raccoon in there as a character. He's weird.
He shoots a gun.
Yeah, it doesn't quite work as well. And the guns he shoots are Dante's guns. That's part of the shtick. Is like, he's like, I'm out of ammo, like, send me the ladies. No, like, Dante tosses him the guns. Dante also uses his guns.
Yeah, somehow.
Yeah, magically. I don't know. It's weird. And then because Sigma and Ultron got 2 Infinity Stones, the Avengers are now trying to get their own, like the rest of the Infinity Stones. So of course they enlist the help of Thanos. So they rescue Thanos from some dungeon prison thing.
Yeah.
And Thor goes bad because he gets infected by the Sigma virus.
Okay.
So they lose Thor, and they're like, we'll wake up Thanos. And Tony's like, I can't let you do that, Cap. And it's like, you helped us steal him from a prison, but you won't let us talk to him. This makes 0 sense, but it was just for a reason to have Iron Man and Captain America have a fight. Yeah. Which gets stopped halfway in between by Thor anyways.
Evil Thor.
Nope, this was good Thor when he's like, stop fighting. Like, we need to, like, help people. And then he goes evil.
Huh.
Yeah. Weird game. And then Astroneer is another one I played. The tutorial kind of teaches you how to move around and live for about 5 seconds.
Okay.
Then I started the story mode or the game and have no idea what to do. So
Sounds like you've been playing a lot of quality games there.
Astroneer I've heard good things about, so I'm gonna give it another shot. But I gotta give Crackdown 3 a shot now that I have a controller plugged in, because it's like, maybe that was my problem. Maybe it's a game that's just meant to play with a controller. I'm gonna believe.
You go ahead.
I'm gonna believe in my head.
You go ahead and do that.
That's the way it's gonna go. Either way, now I'm done.
For sure.
For
We're
sure.
Good.
Yep, I got the list. We're good.
Don't want to check your Netflix there.
Nope, I'm good. Game Grumps. I've been watching Game Grumps.
Well, not that I've been doing a whole bunch, with school ending.
I was gonna say finished off classes and stuff. Yep.
So that's been a focus for a bit.
Yep.
Continuing The Office.
Excellent.
I'm on season 9 now.
Oh, good.
It's the last season.
Last season.
I don't believe I've ever watched this season before.
I don't. I think we stopped watching it in our household when before Michael left. So before Steve Carell was gone,
Yeah.
we were already kind of like, okay, this Jim and Pam stuff, nah. And then they sent Jim off, and then Andy came in, and
Well, they came back at the same time.
all of those pieces
Yeah.
though were it's like, okay, I don't know, not Andy. Yeah, Andy.
Yeah.
Played by what's his nugget.
Yes.
Yes, vacation guy.
Yep.
Yeah. Ed Helms.
Yes.
There we go. He came in and it's he's kind of annoying, and now you look at it going okay, that was really well written because he was supposed to be that.
Yeah.
But back then it was I was getting sick and tired of Jim and Pam, and then they moved him because he requested a transfer, and then that got really weird.
Yeah.
And then it was okay, and then he moved back, and I'm like, okay, good. That Ed Helms character is gone. Nope. He's back. Yeah.
Well, in these episodes, he is the boss.
Yep.
So, I remember, I'm trying to remember back when I last watched it, when it was on cable.
Yeah.
I even think I stopped before the end of season 8 because I don't remember that ending.
No.
But yeah, so this is all new. I find it really weird.
Mm-hmm.
I think it was a couple weeks ago Brian mentioned it.
Yeah.
Where he's the same way, where he didn't like the Jim and Pam stuff. Well, in season 8, it was the Andy Aaron stuff. This is continued. They're now officially in a relationship.
Yes.
But now there's another twist to that relationship where they're trying to build up another guy.
Yes.
With her.
Because they lost the Jim and Pam, and instead of just making a show about the people, they still had to have that relation. That's where writers start to go wrong. It's we still need to have a love triangle of some kind, or a will they, won't they, or a this or that. It's no.
But Jim and Pam didn't have. Well, they had the love triangle for a while.
Yeah. And then it was kind of the would they, wouldn't they sort of, and then it's hey, they're gonna do it, and then they got married.
Yeah, and then they had kids and all of that.
And and it's this is good, but then it's
then they did switched characters to do that.
Yeah.
And now they added another character, and I don't know why. You spent a season establishing these two trying to get together.
Yeah.
And now you're trying to tear it apart.
Yeah. For drama in a comedy show.
Hey, there are aspects of it that are funny. I mean, it's not as bad as Disenchantment.
Yes.
There are actually parts where I'm snickering at.
Yeah.
And it's, I mean, for people who have watched the show since the beginning, watching the development that some of the characters are going through now.
Yeah.
Through the whole thing, Jim is, I'm not going to be stuck here my whole life. And then he realizes, oh shit, I am
stuck here.
But now he's taking steps in the show to not be that person.
Yep.
Because he's seeing a younger version of himself, and it's that poor kid.
Yeah.
And he realizes that's
him.
Him.
Yeah.
So it's seeing that progress. I like that part of it. See how that goes. I think they've already... This is the time when... Because Mindy
Kaling?
This is when she started the
Mindy Project.
So the start of this was she moved to the city and she thought it was a city in California, so she was all, hey, I'm going to California, screw you guys, throwing coats at people and all that. And it turns out it's in Ohio or whatever, and she's still confused. But it was their way of, because she got with another guy that wasn't Ryan.
Yes.
And when they moved, but Ryan followed her, so they wrote two characters out essentially, but they did a nice job of.
Yeah, that was cute.
Right at the start.
Yeah.
Of the first episode, she moved away.
Yeah.
And she's throwing coats at people, and for a weird reason, Ryan decided to move too.
Yeah.
To the same place. And it shoots to him quickly, kind of living as a homeless person.
Yeah. Ryan was a weird enough character that anything could happen to him, though, and you're like, all right.
Where he's just...
Because, again, that show sets it up.
This is the new... I can't remember what California is referred to as.
Oh, yeah.
I can't remember. Yeah, but he's comparing Ohio to the Midwest version of this.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, it was... Seeing the character develop in that way is...
Because when you have a character like Creed... Really, you can have any kind of character on that
I love
show.
Creed.
I love it.
The random comments.
And that's all. Like, he's perfect for that.
Like his last episode I watched, because the English person came.
Oh, yeah.
She's working there now. And she's special project fairy, here to do stuff and throw stuff at Creed. And she's like, I know you're not real. She's like, okay.
He's the Hitchcock.
A random guy.
Hitchcock and Scully are the Creeds of, like... it is. It's that character that you get that tiny little taste of. He makes you giggle for, a good 20 seconds because you're like...
When they made Creed the boss for a while, that was great. Because, I think it was after Dwight got told he can't be a manager anymore.
Yeah.
Who's your seniorest, most peace person here? And they're all,
yeah.
You sure?
Yeah. You
And
absolutely.
then Creed goes in. And then the next few episodes, the next episode, he's calling the biggest clients. Yeah, we're shutting down. And Pam's the only one that's catching on to what he's doing. So it's her trying to divert attention away from everything. Creed's that crazy.
I know. That's what I love.
He's
Creed.
the crazy one.
But that's what I mean. So, like, Ryan could follow Mindy Kaling's character because, like, he is desperately in love with her because he clearly has problems.
A lot of problems.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when she started dating that other guy,
Yeah.
I love her right now.
Yeah.
I just kept being very careful about... Right now, yes, I love her.
Yeah.
Then in the next few days, I don't know, next week, I don't know. In the next year, I don't know. But yeah, so it was my first time through this.
That's good, though. That's exciting.
So we'll see. I'll finish this in no time.
Yep.
It's only 24 episodes, I think.
Something like that.
Yeah. And I'll get the sneak peek at Shroot Farm spinoff later in the season.
Hey.
That was weird. I forgot they totally did that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm looking through the list of episodes, and they do that Shroot Farm episode, and I'm like, oh, yeah. I forgot they were planning to spin off with Dwight.
Yeah, that was a mistake.
Well, they didn't do it.
I know, but it's one of those ones where you're like, again, Dwight is a good character in that ensemble.
Yeah.
That's like when they tried Joey 8,000 years ago when Friends was over.
They actually went and did it.
I know, they did it, and I'm like, but Joey without Chandler is just dumb.
Joey without the group.
Really without the group, but especially, like, if they would have moved Joey and Chandler, and if they would have done that, then Monica has to go. So all of a sudden, like, you have those three leaving to California. There's something there.
Yeah.
Joey all on his own, it's like you're taking the dumbest character out of that group of people and putting him on his own.
Well, they tried to build him an ensemble.
They tried to put more people around him, but it was his sister.
Sister and nephew.
Yeah.
recognize the nephew from Animorphs. I think it was.
Yeah. And the sister was from Sopranos.
Which made sense for him being Italian.
But that's what I mean. Like, it was like, Frasier worked miraculously.
Yeah, I don't know how they did that one.
Really, like, that is the pinnacle of spin-off shows.
I don't think he was big enough.
I think that's the piece, is like Frasier, again, was that character that...
A lot of people don't even realize that Frasier was attached to Cheers.
Cheers, right.
For first.
Yeah. So yeah, that's probably the piece of it, is if you don't realize it, like all of a sudden if Stanley had his own show, or like Ryan had gotten his own show, or Creed.
Oh no.
Follow Creed. And again, very different shows. You can't do the Office-based something or other.
No.
Like you can't keep doing those comedies.
When Creed talks about doing lines of heroin.
Yeah.
Or Coke or whatever.
Whatever.
No, I don't want to follow that character. The person to double-cross me was Creed Bratton.
What? I know, that's why I love him.
The police are here. Just sit here and pretend we're talking about something until they leave.
I know. That's exactly the one I'm thinking. That's the one that sticks in my head. He's just like...
I'm just going to sit here until they're gone. Just let me know when they're gone.
Yeah, you just keep...
And James Spader wasn't... He was weird enough for the show.
Yes.
I'm curious, though, if it was planned that he was only going to be there for one season.
I think so.
But he was weird enough.
Yep.
And he did that, too. Just thinking about that, because there were three... Jim, Dwight, and another salesman from a different... were waiting for him. Yeah. He's sitting there like, I could talk at geishas all day. Are those three still watching me?
Yeah.
Well, I guess. Start thinking about geishas.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show. I think it was just the Jim and the Jim and Pam stuff that just kind of got to me-ish. But watching it on Netflix helped. But
they even touch on that in this. Yep. One of the last episodes is they know everything about each other.
Yes.
There's no secrets.
Yeah. But that's the piece. Is like, I think watching it back to back to back to back, because you're not sitting through,
week after week.
Next week's gonna be the same. Oh, next week's gonna be the same thing. This one, it's like you can pile drive through all of that, and then all of a sudden they're getting married, and you're like, okay.
Yeah.
Like, now we're in Niagara Falls, so this is good.
Yeah. I like that episode.
That was cute.
The dance and everything.
Yeah.
I was kind of disappointed, though, that Angela's kid, wasn't actually Dwight's.
I know.
I was a little disappointed by that.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yep. Oh, Dwight.
But then, that's all I watched, because,
Yep.
Life. And then I got motivated by the Watchdog Legion.
Heck yeah!
thing. I started playing Watch Dogs 2.
Yep.
I don't know why this one feels so weird to me.
Really? Good weird, bad weird?
I don't know. I don't know if it's an adjustment period that I have to get back into it. Because I really like the first one.
Yeah.
And I remember last week when Tony said, Watch Dog was good and Watch Dog 2 is supposed to be even better.
Yep, that's what I heard.
Okay. I don't know. I gotta play it more.
Yeah, get into it a little bit more.
And see, because I can fast travel everywhere right now.
Sweet. Right off the bat.
Pretty much. It's like, you gotta go on the opposites. I don't know what city I'm in.
It's San Francisco-y.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I'm at the top of the map, kind of after you do the tutorial stuff. And then you get clothes, because you were drunk and did your thing.
Yeah.
You had a party because your whole tutorial was you're getting initiated into this group.
Oh, okay.
And you need to do something for them.
Oh, so you're getting hazed sort of thing.
And so after you complete it, you guys just sit on the beach and start drinking, and you got so drunk you lost your clothes and ended up in some strange woman's house.
Happens constantly when I join hacker groups.
Totally. Yeah. I get that.
Oh,
especially the drunken passing out.
Oh, yeah. And then I forget about the hacker groups. I have to go join another one.
I'm in so many groups.
So many, and I don't remember any of them. I've been initiated into the same one 3 times.
They give me a weird look every time.
Every time, and they're like, okay, if you want to do it again.
But yeah, so I started at the top of the map, because I had to buy clothes.
Mm-hmm.
And then, okay, here's our base. It's on
the other side.
And there's a lake or something in my way, and I'm like, okay, and I go down farther map. Oh, you can fast travel to this close spot. Alright. Whatever. It's a big map, which is super confusing.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like it unlocks like Watch Dogs did.
Yeah, well, Watch Dogs,
It seems like I can get
everywhere.
Places. I haven't really fully explored the map, but...
Interesting.
But I can fast travel to clothing stores, which are super close to where I need to go, so it's... Okay.
Well, that works out then.
Because I know in Watch Dogs I was busy riding bikes and driving cars all over the place.
Oh, yeah, because you're trying to get everywhere and you had to drive.
I don't need to do that.
Interesting. I do have it. I got it on the sale thing for the PlayStation because why not? It's on. That was a good price. But
yeah. So I'm just starting to dabble in it. I've officially met everybody in the group now.
Oh, good.
There's a 3D maker that they have.
Like a 3D printer.
Yeah.
Cool.
And you can make guns.
Excellent.
They've customized it to make guns.
Of course.
Like, okay. Sure.
That's what I'm doing as soon as I get a 3D printer. It's,
making guns.
Nerf guns, but...
Well, yeah. That reminds me, I gotta bring water guns to work on the last day.
Solid.
Yep. Pretty much just run into rooms and start spraying teachers.
Nice.
Just randomly. Oh, but yeah. But yes, just dabbling in that just to see what's going on. And so I prepared for Legion when it comes out next year. Yeah, next year.
Good stuff. Yes, I have to start on that one. Watch Dogs 2.
Or Borderlands.
Or Borderlands. I said that the other night. Brian and I were playing something, and I'm like, he's like, what do you want to play? And I'm like, I don't care. And I'm like, do you want a Borderlands?
Do you guys want a Borderlands? Let's still chat.
No, it wasn't even a chat. It was just like, I'm like, do you want to play Borderlands? Like, we can pew pew, we can Borderlands, we can do this, we can do that. And he's like, oh, it's just pew pew. And I was like, oh, okay. You just get sucked into it's so easy to just pew pew.
It is, and I know we've established our dislikes for certain maps.
Yes. Oh, the other night we got to one point where Brian and I were both like, let's just switch back to Conan.
I haven't done that in a while.
We found the place with wolves.
We gotta get that big bat killed again, so we can do the scepter.
I was gonna say, we don't need to kill him. We just need to avoid him.
Long enough to do the scepter.
We've got the scepter in the blood, so...
Boy, howdy.
Boy, howdy, are we prepped. Either way, that's what we've been doing.
Yes.
Stay tuned for next week, when we do all of this over again.
Yeah. There might be one more person here.
Might be. He's not rock climbing. Tony's busy doing Pokemon card stuff.
He said 2 weeks.
Well, there you go. Fine, then. Yeah, we'll see us in 2 weeks. So not next week, the week after.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I think he's... Is it the
Worlds thingy, yeah. Yes. He's going to the big thing. So
he's going to be a judge.
A big judge. He's judged before. He's judged, like... He's been invited to smaller things. This is like one of the big kahuna-type Pokemon card things. So it's a very cool opportunity for him. So yes, he will be there.
Yes.
If you want to follow him on Twitter, you can find then because he'll be tweeting.
Oh, probably.
He'll be tweeting. So if you want to follow that, you can hit barrelrollnews.com, find all of our social media links, including our Twitters and all of that jazz. With that, though, ladies and gentlemen, we will see you next week. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, all of that stuff, and share with your friends. Bye.
Bye.